thanks to Donna Jackson. Donna Jackson brought this story to my attention. I had a little time to research this story, and this is a disgusting story, just as well as any other story that I have done. But, you know, again, some stories are more disgusting than others. And then when the justice system gets involved, that makes it more disgusting and disturbing. Amen. The man that you see down at the bottom of my screen name is John Hopkins. The meats and potatoes, John Hopkins was a former physical education teacher, which was one of my favorite courses in junior high school. But how can it be one of your favorite courses when you got a man like this walking on the earth or walking into school? He has been accused, charged, and convicted of sexual gross imposition of first grader girls. And allegedly he was caught on video doing this. And it was 28 girls he did this to. So in case you didn't hear me again, first graders, 28 of them. And you're going to hear later on how many years this man got for doing what he did. And you tell me if the justice system ain't fucked up. You tell me if the justice system ain't fucked up. All right, guys, so let's get right into it. And let's hear it.
In life,
Jesus Christ, a damn man. I knew I should have played this first. Hold on.
Butler County, a verdict in a sex abuse case involving a local gym teacher.
Austin Hopkins is guilty of molesting dozens of young children. Tessa DeTiro has been in the Warren County courtroom all day. She's joining us now live. And Tessa, it took jurors 11 hours to reach this verdict.
It did, Kyle. They had a lot of evidence to comb through in this case. They found John Austin Hopkins guilty on 34 counts of gross sexual imposition. He was facing 36 of those counts. Tensions were high in the courtroom as the verdict was read. The 28 first grade girls that this case centered around, their families stayed to hear that verdict read. They were emotional as that was happening. And Hopkins' family was there too, and they were emotional as well.
Austin Hopkins, you're my son. You will always be my son.
We'll get all that.
Austin, we love you and we know you didn't do it.
Somebody in his family said, "We love you and we know you didn't do it." I find that disheartening, because if they got videos showing what this man is doing, then how can you still be so blind and naive to say that this man wasn't doing this? If the court is playing video, which you're going to see in one of these articles that I play, they're going to bleep it out, but it's supposed to show that he's brushing up against these young girls. But, you know, I guess at the same time, you know, everybody going to stand up with their family. You know, they're going to believe what they want to believe, because what's a famous thing you always hear? I know them better than that. I know they won't do nothing like that. Do you? Do you? And maybe a lot of us need to get out their frame of mind saying what we know what people would or would not do. Because again, in public, they show one face. Behind closed doors, they show another face. That's why they call people two-faced.
Love you, Richard. Love you so much.
In closing arguments this morning, the state says Hopkins' actions are just side hugs and high fives are not just side hugs and high fives like he claims. The defense says Hopkins is a high-functioning autistic and didn't know that these actions were inappropriate. Hours worth of surveillance video, like we talked about, shows Hopkins.
How many of y'all believe that? How many of y'all believe that? They say he's autistic and he didn't know what he was doing was wrong. How many of y'all believe that?
Placing girls on his lap, nuzzling them, touching under their shirts, and wrapping them around him.
And you mean to tell me this man did not know that? Set him on the lap, going under their shirt, and all that stuff. So you mean to tell me he's autistic? He didn't know what the hell he was doing? This is what I talk about with cases like this. People use their disability to try to say they didn't know what the unknown was. Come on now, I work with people in that department. A lot of them are smart as fuck, and they know exactly what to do or what not to do. I work with a man when I first got into this field. I think he dealing with autism. He knew what was right and what was wrong, and not to go that far with children and not to go that far with anybody. Now, he would talk to grown women in a sexual manner, but he would never touch them without permission. Let alone that man, autistic as he was, he loved children. He loved children. So again, I had to ask, do you believe that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing? Well, you got people mentally challenged that I work with know exactly what the fuck they doing. Who believe that shit?
It was a long year as families endured interviews and even the young girls testifying and parents testifying in this case.
My impression is it's an overall impression of relief that we've gotten through this step of the process. Certainly, I think most of them would have liked to have gone straight to sentencing tonight and to have this matter behind them entirely and work on trying to move forward with the issues that every one of them is going to have from here on out, trusting people.
Judge Robert Peeler has not set John Austin Hopkins sentencing yet. He did say there will be no pre-sentence investigation, but he would like a mental check on Hopkins. He is in state custody tonight. In Warren County, Tessa DiTiro, Local 12 News. Back to you in the studio.
All right.
So we heard that they're gonna run a mental evaluation on him, which I'm pretty much sure they already did. But here's the thing, though. Here's my thing. Even when they run the mental evaluation, what does they say? Does they give him an excuse as to what he did? Does it give him an excuse? And if that's the case, why was he there in the first place? Did he ever have a history of doing this? Did a lot of people ever feel uncomfortable with the man around their child? And was this told to the school system? And the school system still hired him because maybe they were scared of being hit with discrimination. Which go back to say what we always talk about, the CPS. Anybody can make a false call to CPS because they hate somebody and get their kids fucked with, but they don't get a mental evaluation. So why should he get one? I don't get it. But this is the system that we live in today. That this big grown ass man, 28 damn girls, sexual gratification going under their shirt and stuff. And Lord knows if he got his own child, he know not to go under her shirt. Y'all don't want to get me started preaching. Lord knows and behold, if he got his own child, do he go under her shirt? 9 times out of 10, he don't, because he know better. So how the fuck you gonna say he probably don't know better going up with other girls' shirts if that ain't your daughter? Yeah. Let me know if I say something wrong now. Y'all let me know if I said something wrong. And Spencer just said it. It's a motherfucking ridiculous. It is.
Which is what Hopkins originally told police during his interrogation. The defense argues Hopkins is on the high-functioning end of the autism spectrum, claiming Hopkins was unaware of his actions and that he was unaware that they were inappropriate.
Wait a minute. Now, from my recollection, when it comes to high function people with disability, high function means, I could be wrong, high function means they could do a lot for themselves and they need minimal assistance. So if you're using the term high function, then I'm kind of confused how you using it here, because high function, according to my knowledge, what I learned, they know how to do a whole lot of stuff by themselves, and a lot of them know right from wrong. They still make mistakes, but a lot of them know right from wrong. So maybe I'm getting confused how they using it up in here as far as high function when they say that.
David Ciccarelli, Hopkins' attorney, argues because of his autism, again, Hopkins was not aware his actions were inappropriate, so he should be acquitted.
He should be acquitted. Let me ask you this. So you mean to tell me he's so high function, using the terms that they use, he's so high function, he know he was wrong, he getting his dick on hard for a little child? He didn't know he was wrong for that. You mean to tell me this big grown ass man did not know when his dick was getting hard for a child? He didn't know that was wrong? I guess when you're a defense lawyer, that's what you got.